Took me to this little closet thing. They called it a room. It was on the same floor with the emergency room. And I fall asleep. My wife goes to do something, take Chase somewhere. The nurse come in, wake me up, ask me some questions. I don't remember. Finally, time go by. She asked me who the president was, blah, blah, blah. And finally, after 9 minutes, I remember everything. Like, boom, I just start calling out, President is Joe Biden. Random. Okay, but you asked. And she said, wow, it took you 9 minutes to remember. And then I'm remembering everything. I'm good, okay, good. Fall asleep again. When I fall asleep again, I wake up, they wake me up again. When they wake me up again, I don't remember again. Taking longer to come back. They get all these television neurologists to come talk to me on TV and ask me questions, and eventually I would remember. Sit down. See, this is when you're supposed to play that music. And so, I am, so after a few minutes, I'm remembering some stuff, I'm not remembering other stuff. Like I can have a present conversation with you, but I was foggy on some stuff. So then my daughter shows up, uninvited. How you doing, baby? Love you. And so me and her and they're arguing with me. Because I'm arguing with the nurses and the doctors. Because they're telling me one thing's the problem. I'm telling them, I have a head problem, not a heart problem. Like in my memory, and y'all don't want to deal with that. We need to deal with that because that's kind of important to me. And so finally, they treated me like I was crazy. They told me that, we just here for no reason. We would think you would want to listen to the professionals, the people who know what they're talking about. And I said, okay. So again, I said, you know what? Y'all gonna do what y'all wanna do. I'ma just roll over, ignoring them. And went to sleep again. I woke up this time, and this time when I woke up, it was at 5:30 p.m. and I couldn't remember nothing. And when I say nothing, what's your birthday? I don't know. Where are you at? I don't know. What's this picture? It was a leaf. I don't know. They get the neurologist for the fourth time, talking to me, talking to my wife. She asked me a question. I said, ma'am, I don't ask me. I just don't know the answer. She gets panicked. She looks at my wife. She says, I know what's happening. She says, your husband has had a stroke, and he's about to have another massive one. Matter of fact, it's going to be so massive, it's going to be catastrophic. And so, for some reason, they felt the need to. So they rushed, do the CAT scan. After they do the CAT scan, they rush me up to give me this special they call it a stroke buster medicine. And had a nurse, ICU, I had a nurse named Sydney. And I thank God for Sydney because Sydney was relentless. I'm talking about relentless. Every 9 minutes to what's your name? And even though I didn't know it, every 9 minutes, Sydney would say, what's your name? And I would say, I don't know, you tell me my name. And she'd tell it to me. She said, well, what's your birthday? I said, I don't know, tell me my birthday. And so at 11 p.m., so this started at 5:30. At 11 p.m., I remembered my name. And then slowly I started remembering my birth date. And it was funny because I told my wife this, because I scared her for the first time ever, but I told her this. Through all of it, the only thing I could always remember was to pray. Remember nothing else. I could remember to pray. And I'm going to show you how good God is, then we'll get right back to cultish, because this is where it came from. So finally, my memory's starting to slowly come back. It's hard, though. I'm fighting. And if you know anything about me, I'm tenacious. Like, once I'm like, okay, I'm looking at signs. And Lisa, I was trying to remember my address because I couldn't remember my address. And I started to remember my address. And then I got to my zip code. And I remembered the first 3 digits of my number. I could not remember what the 4th number was. This is a true story. I could not remember what the 4th number was. And there was this Jesus on the cross on the wall right back from me. And I'm looking, and all I hear is grace. 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 I'm like, okay, grace. Favor. Grace, favor. So that's the number. But what number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is, right? And my nurse think I'm crazy, y'all. Because I just had to explain this whole process to her of how I remember what 5 was. Because I remember God was giving me grace. He says to me, the problem with Holy Grounds is not that it's a cult. The problem with the church is that it's not. And I said, okay. Because when we hear cults, we think about Jim Jones and 909 definitely confused people committing suicide all on one day, or David Koresh in Waco and having standoff with the law and all of that. But the problem here is, here's the problem. Okay, we done. I'm done with that. The problem with that is, you're right. People have taken the negative and they've made it negative by taking advantage of people. And as they took advantage of people, then when people started wanting to do stuff like enjoy being at church or serving a lot or showing up and definitely don't pay your tithe, then they start saying you're a cult. I got bad news for you. The church started as a cult. And what happened was we became less cultish. Get through one today to have a cult. Every good cult, let me help you out, has to have a Messiah. Every good cult has to have a Messiah. The problem in the world is we put all of the emphasis on man. Now, historical. Or to go historical, when Jesus showed up, they didn't see him as God in the flesh. They saw him as a man calling himself a Messiah with a following we would deem to be a cult. But good news is, you ain't got to like no man. You just got to like Jesus. Our Messiah is Jesus. Who is our Messiah? All right, y'all don't believe me. Simon, Matthew 16:16. Simon Peter answered and said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Matthew 16:20 says, then he warned his disciples that they should tell no one that he was the Christ. Watch this, John 4:25. And the woman said to him, I know the Messiah is coming. he who is called Christ, when he would declare us all things. Jesus said to her, I who speak to you am he. What is he saying? He's saying, listen. The Messiah has arrived. The Messiah you have been waiting for has arrived. Do y'all know that y'all Messiah meaning Savior? Problem. Here is the problem. Here is the issue. He can only be my Messiah if I allow him to be. Let me say that one more time. He can only be my Messiah. Some of us, I ain't gonna get in trouble. It's already went too far out there. If I don't accept him as Messiah, he is. Well, let me put it this way. In this room, I have kids. I have biological kids. I have spiritual kids. I have grandkids. He looked. And then we have other people. Here is the problem. Not everybody in this room accept me as father. Though they have the opportunity to. What happens is, watch this, just because I come to church does not make me say Jesus is my. I know I'm going to get in trouble. Isaiah 9:6, I'm going to have fun.